Welcome, people. Welcome back, fam. What's going on? It's your boy Don Mega, and it is the F Words Podcast back again. Listen, I want to tell you guys I apologize for not being here recently, for the last few months, actually. It's been a pretty trying time. I had some things happen in my life that's been pretty heavy sometimes. So just when I'm ready to make this podcast thing pop and do my thing, and I got a whole studio set up with the whole nine, I get a phone call from the owner of the building saying, "Hey, we need to sell this building, bro, and we need you out in 30 days." Now, before you ask, yes, I had a lease, but the lease was actually up when he called me. It was time to renew the lease, and I feel like he was expecting that. This is the craziest part about it. So I'm disturbed by what happened originally, and I'm upset. Right. I go find a place nearby that may let me rent a place from them because I'm moving. But mind you, now I'm paying a pretty affordable rent for a huge 5,000 square foot gym slash studio, which I have offices the whole nine. I go next door to where they're building these workspaces. The dude tells me, long story short, they are buying my building and that they want my office. He said, "This office you're in here will be put over there." So it was refreshing a little bit, but also kind of crazy because his prices were bananas. So I have my studio, which is here. I'm at home. So this is our spare bedroom slash my office here at home, and I'm doing my thing here. So, whew, that's that. I had to realize something. That experience, that forced move, sent me into a depression. Hear me out. Sounds crazy, but hear me out for a second. I was in this building since my son was born. Like this was my first. This is my place since 2016. I've been here, gone on 9 years. Right. I have a video of my son wagging his feet, and it made me feel like I failed. Like I didn't do my part somehow, and that's the problem I have with it. That I felt like I let myself down, let my family down, even though I was forced out. You know, and I'm saving a boatload of money on expenses from the Jump Street, but it was still a process of being able to get through that and to recognize that okay, I'll be fine and move forward. All right. So here we are. So let me tell you about what happens lately. Now, let me recap on a few things. My F word conversations I like to do it's a narrative I brought up or I kind of created. It's a framework of words that I think are super important that kind of embody the vision of life for most of us, right? It is the premise of what we live our lives by. And those six words are faith, family, finances, fitness, friends, and fear is my last one. I added that one because fear has been a thing that keeps me from doing all of the other five on a regular basis. When I don't want to shoot podcasts, that's my fear. When I'm afraid to make business deals, that's fear. I'm, there's so many things I don't do because of fear that I had to check myself and realize that it has to be a F word. But that factor by itself modifies every other thing I do in my life. And I'm sure I'm not the only one with that issue as well. So I'm back here again, overcoming my fear and my apprehension to get back on this podcast thing and get back at it. But really, this time it's much easier because I have something I really want to share with you guys. All right, so if you don't know my background, I've had a pretty tough background growing up, right? Um, issues in the past. As a young boy, got in trouble when I was young. I'm a four-time felon. Um, my last felony dates back over 25 years. It's that long ago, yeah. I'm 50 years old now. In a span of a year and a half, I picked up 3 felonies, which was the dumbest, ridiculous thing I can do. And I didn't know that at the time when I first started doing the things I was doing, that it would lead to me not being able to be the thing I wanted to be, which was a lawyer. I come from a background of felonious behavior, put it that way. My family's from Louisiana, New Orleans, and we talking about generations of poverty. My mother was an amazing woman, phenomenal woman. She had the gumshoe to grab her 3 sons and leave the city, come to Houston, and give us a new start. Now, we, as sons of this woman, chose a different path. And not of her fault whatsoever. It's just us. It could have been the culture we were raised in. It was what was embedded in us when we left Louisiana. I don't know. But it was a different thing. My family, outside of my brothers, is a collection of men, and most of those men also have had legal issues. I have cousins right now who are doing time from a plethora of different crimes. And I think most of us didn't have a male figure around to kind of direct us. But I tell you, you're talking about New Orleans when it was a culture was, you know, it was one of the murder capitals of the world at the time in this period. This was super bad time. So you have this ego / pride about the worst thing that we held on to, and that culture permeated and was attached to us when we left. Even my family stayed there, it was the same problem. Most of us have felonies. Most of us have family with poverty issues. It's just a thing in New Orleans. It's changing now, but it is what it is. So, fast forward. My Sons of the Beast crew, our nonprofit, is focused on a few things. And we've been doing this panel you guys have seen online. It's called the Humans Initiative. And what Humans stands for is helping understand mental health and normalizing support. The Humans Initiative is about helping men, for the most part, in this space, because men are the ones who typically don't recognize they have the issue or don't want to realize the issue exists. So what we try to do is, a lot of time we'll work through it through the gym as a coping mechanism. So we use the gym, we use alcohol, people use drugs, but the focus was men and young men using the gym to discuss mental health. So what I did was, with my crew, we came together with some of the greatest minds and bodies this world has ever seen when it comes to fitness, with motivation speakers and amazing individuals like C.T. Fletcher. What up, Pops? See you this weekend. Flex Wheeler, Julius Maddox, Midwest Kong, T.D. Davis. Like, these are some of the strongest men to ever exist in this world. I'll give you an example. T.D. Davis and Julius Maddox are the only 2 men ever that I'm aware of, and I've done some research, to lift 700 pounds for more than 1 rep. Raw. Important is raw. No suit, no elbow sleeves, just good old wrist wraps and power. So when I'm talking about powerful men, I mean really powerful men. All right, so fast forward this past weekend, I had a couple of my guys come on down and join my boy Albert Yancey. Man, if you don't know Albert Yancey, bro, you will get to know him. He is an amazing individual, phenomenal guy. His story is it's for the books, literally. So look out for my boy. Got a book coming, I believe, soon too. But this guy here is stellar, gentlemen, stellar. Albert has his organization called FBI Ministry, Faith-Based Incarceration Ministry. Hope that's right, Albert. My bad, bro, if it ain't right. I believe it's right, though. He had an idea to bring us out with him to one of his events. He allowed us to piggyback on his events. And I called up my crew. All my guys can come down at the last minute, but it was late, so we figured something out. Midwest Carlton came through, Big Sam came through, and I got my guys here come through. Tony from Mo City Fitness came through. Lennox from Cortec Labs came through. My boy Jeremy, and other guys came through who were local. Now, Albert has his own group of guys who came through as well. We came through with intentions. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Rob Slater, my new dude, right? Listen, Rob is running for Congress right now. This dude is awesome, bro. Like, awesome. Fast forward. So we all show up with the intent of going to 2 prisons and a detention center on Monday to talk to the gentlemen, give them hope, and just give them our testimony. Now, most of us have had issues with the law, or been in trouble at some point, and whoever was in trouble, the other ones felt they should have been in trouble. They got away with it. But we wanted to share the story of, hey, listen, you still matter. And we wanted to show those guys that because they're there, don't mean they don't have any value. Because you're not around, because you're not available here, you still have value. And that was important because there's still fathers there, there's still brothers there who will one day get out. 95% of those men will get out of prison and we're back in society. So the goal was to show them that they still matter. And don't stop, keep grinding, keep your education, keep moving forward, because when you do get out, we will need you. Okay? So we go to the first unit. They changed the name to Memorial Unit. The old name was Darrington. Now that's the unit I had a family member on for years. I would go to that unit regularly to see my guy, right? For 10 years or more. He was there 10 years. And I needed to see my bro at that place. Meaning, I needed to go in that space to see him. Because even though he wasn't here, I still needed that big brother concept of feeling and that mentorship from there. I needed to be big bro a little bit from being from where I was, being free. Here I am making mistakes, having errors in life, or whatever it is. I needed his opinion, his unfiltered opinion on what I was doing and how to help me navigate the free world from being inside. That was required. I needed that still for me. So, going back to that unit this time with, on this side of it, what's different? Going behind the bars, hearing those bars close, gave me chills. It gave me anxiety. It gave me a lot of eerie feelings that I used to have a long time ago. Now, mind you, I did my little time in the 90s, man. Talking about the 90s, like 95. And so I've been, that was a long time ago. That's 30 years ago for me. And I haven't been behind bars since then. So that was a feeling. We get inside and we bring in a bench press, right? Because my guys can bench. Bring a bench press. These dudes ain't seen free weight in years. And the first unit, man, they lifting and let them lift a little bit. They getting the feel for the weight. We talking. We fellowshipping, bro. Like, it is just, these dudes are regular men, regular guys who make mistakes. Some mistakes bigger than others. Some were caught, some were not. But they all make mistakes. Now, I'm not excusing their behavior. They're paying for the behavior as we speak because they are where they are. And that being said, I pray that when they're done paying for their behavior, paying for their crimes per se, that they'll be released and get a new chance at life, like most of us did. Now, the second unit we go to is called Stringfellow. Listen, man. We get in this unit, and we are in the chapel. And to visualize 200 men smiling in TDC whites, happy to see you, right? They are excited, smiles on their faces, giving us hugs, giving us love, and they're really excited to be there. They had a song, bro. This dude rapped the song. It was so fly. It was the whole entire Chapel knew the song. They was singing your man's song. It was a faith-based song, but he had made a rap for it. It was fly. It was super awesome. So to get a chance to let us get on a panel and talk, and myself, Albert is the next Eric Thomas, bro. This dude is a beast with it, a super beast with it. Real talk. I'm gotta I gotta have his back. He's a beast. Albert, myself, Rob, my boy Tony from Mo City Fitness. His first time on stage talking. I've been knowing Tony for 15 plus years, and I've never heard these stories. It's something about being in a space where people have you vulnerable and open and make you talk. I've known T for 15 plus years and never heard these stories. My boy Lennox is on stage talking with me, as well as Midwest Kong, um, and Rob Slater. Man, Rob is so good, bro. Listen, I'm talking about a star-studded cast. These gentlemen come out, they give their conversation, they give their pieces, they say what they're going to say, and it was excellent. The energy in this place was infectious. These guys had questions. We answered the best we could, but it was the energy they were giving us. It was such a pull on positive energy. They wanted so much we can give them. They were asking for it, and they were happily willing to receive. And we were willing to give. We were absolutely willing to give it. We gave it all to them, much as we could. And we gave so much, man. That when I got home, I was a bit wore out emotionally, bro. Like I get home and I'm calling my wife, make sure she's home, right? And this is the value of a good woman, bro. This is the value of a really, really good woman. I walk in the door, take off my shirt, I find her, and I crash in her lap, and I just bawl. I bawl, bro, because I feel like what happened was when I went to the prison, I left so much of me there, but I took with them their despair, their anguish, their guilt with me, and I was able to release it into the air somewhere else. I got home and I just poured it all out. When I was done, I felt great, but it was the most refreshing moment I had in many, many, many years. It was so fulfilling to be able to give back and affect these gentlemen in a way that I know that things we said to them mattered. And our motto was, you still matter. Because I come from a place where I needed my brother who was in that space to help me navigate the world out here with his lack of experience that I had. It didn't matter where you were. You still big bro. You still someone's father. You still someone's uncle. You still someone's brother. You still someone's son. They still need you. Your advice, your belief. They know who you are. So want the guys to know they still matter, and it was super important to do that. Fast forward to Monday, and on Monday we go to another unit, a juvenile unit in right outside of Houston. It's right outside of Austin, I'm sorry. And the same crew show up. Listen, I need to say this. My dudes are showing up who are not at all getting paid. This is voluntary. They're showing up on a Monday, leaving work, canceling work to do this. And we talk in front of juveniles. Now, this facility has capital offenses, juveniles. Some of these guys will probably never see the free world again. Some of them are there for capital murder. The way the system is set up now, the juveniles stay in one place until they turn 18, and 19 they push them to the big prisons. But these kids are still kids. You seeing on their faces the innocence, but the image still matters to these guys. and they're just eating up our words. They really want to hear what we got to say. They really want to talk. So we pass our index cards and have these guys fill them out, um, and we answer their questions for them. And I tell you, these kids' questions, as a father, were some of the toughest ones I have ever seen. Questions like, what happens when you are dead? Why did my father not love me? I've been abused since 3 years old. How do I get over it? My favorite, one of my favorites, I should say, was they're saying, if you're a good father, do your kids have a chance to fulfill their dreams? Like, these questions were, again, hard to swallow, man. These gentlemen, these young dudes, again, they made mistakes. Mind you, they're 17 and 18 and under. The youngest is 13 years old. 13. And some of them may never see the world again. Some will go up for parole at 17 years old and get out, hopefully, and get a chance again. But a lot of them don't have anyone to assist them. So that's what we are now, man. I'm in a place where I think I found my niche. I want to be able to help those who need help, those who really need help. Don't get it twisted. We know that men on every corner need to be talked to about their issues. But there's some who just need it more than others. This weekend we're headed to Anaheim for the Anaheim Fit Expo. We have two panels there. My boy Bobby Maximus will join us as well. I see my boy CT. Ain't seen him in a while, since January. He Flex. See my guys again in this panel and have a good time and talk about our lives and our journey. But I wanted to share that with you guys, man, and show you how important that is, and the fact that I think that most men should hear this more often, is that you still matter. Like, there's a place, even when you grinding at work 9 to 5, doing your thing, getting home tired, and you don't feel like it matters, it still matters, man. Spend time with your kids when you can. Spend time with your moms when you can, because, God willing, they go first. And when they go, we are going to have a pain that we don't want to deal with, but we can spend as much time with them as we possibly can. And two things is elbow words. Two things that they ain't making anymore. Land and time. And I think that I'm in a place of gratitude where I'm realizing that as well. And I want to make sure that I spend my time when I'm away from my family with people who I feel can affect their lives and their children's lives and their grandchildren's lives and their parents' lives, so that my time isn't wasted at any point in my life anymore. And I get the full support from my wife for doing so at the same time. So, listen, man, this is just a simple hello. I miss you guys. I'm back at it again, and we'll chop it up soon. In the meantime, peace.